Hello, and thank you so much for joining me here on my channel. I'm going to be doing the Capricorn energy reading. As always, take what resonates, leave what does not, especially since this is a general reading. All right, we're going to look at what you may possibly be struggling with for Capricorn. And we have the Seven of Cups. We have the King of Swords. And we have the Fool. So I find this very interesting just looking at this because the King of Swords is looking right at that Seven of Cups. So on the other side, we have the Fool card, which is the new beginnings. I feel that you're having trouble. You're seeing an opportunity, but I feel like maybe you're over analyzing it, that you're thinking about it, you're in your head too much about it, or you see this opportunity for this new start or this new beginning, this new opportunity. And I almost feel like you're overthinking it. Instead of just going for it and seeing what happens, that I feel that you're in your head a lot. I feel that you're overwhelmed, and it's almost like, is there a part of you, because I'm kind of getting this feeling that maybe there's a part of you that's kind of hesitant to have a new beginning, that you're comfortable in your situation, but I feel the situation is not something that you're truly happy with, that you desire more, that you want more, but it's almost like you're hesitant to start this new beginning because you're feeling like, oh, I have to start all over. I don't really know what I'm doing. But as I always say, it's always about perspective and how you're seeing it. And if you're seeing this as, what is your main goal here? Is your main goal to advance, to become more fulfilled, to have more abundance in your life, to be happier? That if that's your goal, then staying where you are is not going to get you to your goal if you're looking at that. But if you're saying, okay, looking at these opportunities that are coming in, these Seven of Cups, that, or these new ideas that are coming in, or this new way of thinking that you're thinking about that's coming in for you, that if this is how you're going to reach your happiness or your abundance, that sometimes we have to go through those struggles, or we have to invoke changes in our lives in order to reach those goals, and not seeing this as a hindrance that's going to make you feel uncomfortable, but almost like, as I've said many times before, sometimes you have to shake things up. Sometimes you have to change things in order to really realize what it is that you really want to have in your life, or that you want to do in your life, or where you want to be in your life. I also feel that if it's not new opportunities, I feel like you're feeling very overwhelmed, that you want to have a new start, that you want to, like, you're feeling overwhelmed with the Seven of Cups. You have a lot of emotions going on. You have a lot of feelings going on. You're also in your head a lot with this King of Swords, that you're thinking a lot about things. And it's almost like you want to break free, but you can't. That you're having a lot of anxiety, that you're having a lot of stress, that you're thinking a lot about things. And it's almost like you're so overwhelmed that you can't even make a move. It's almost like that deer in the headlights, as you're just like, I have so much going on right now that I can't even think. I can't think straight. Maybe you have something that has happened and you have a lot of emotions, and maybe that's triggered you in a certain way, and now you're in your head about things, that maybe something happened with you, that someone said something or did something, or something happened around you and you feel triggered, and now you're in your head, and now you're thinking about all of these things from the past that are flooding your mind, and that you're trying to break free from it, but you can't because you're feeling overwhelmed by it all. The advice from the tarot is, we have the Queen of Swords, we have, I love it, the Ace of Wands, and we have, okay, yeah, Three of Wands. I love it. So the advice from the tarot is to embrace those new beginnings and to take those actions to free yourself. Sometimes, like I said over here, is that we get in our head and we start thinking of all of these things, and we're, as my sister said, like we're writing, I forget how she said, I'm the worst at remembering, but like you're writing the story or the ending before it's even happened. Like you're assuming that things are going to happen a particular way, but you haven't even gone through it. Like you don't know what's going to happen. You've come up with all of these things in your head and you're assuming that it's going to happen that way, but you haven't actually experienced it. And the advice from the tarot is to take the actions to actually experience it, to see what's going to happen. For some reason, when I saw the Queen of Swords, I felt like she's represent, like the word truth came through for me. Sometimes we can get so in our head that we kind of create this false truth in our head that this is the way things are going to be. But again, like I said earlier, it's like if you haven't actually experienced it until you know it's there, that you don't know what the truth is. And with this Three of Wands, it's working towards your future, working towards your goals. And I just feel like this Queen of Swords is like the most important card, and I feel like she's saying to really look at it from a factual point of view. And yes, you may be going through some emotions, and that's triggered you to get in your head. And it's to work through that and say, what's the reality of the situation? That is this pattern or this trigger, is this really what your reality is? Or was it something that happened to you in the past and that you're afraid that it's going to happen again? And sometimes if we keep thinking that something negative is going to happen or that patterns are going to repeat, if we keep putting that energy out there, then we create that reality. And you have to let go of that. And you have to say, no, my new reality is this Fool card and this Ace of Wands card. That I want something different. That I want to be, in moving forward, that you want something different. Take those actions to find the truth of the situation and to free yourself from being in your head, your emotions, and your feelings so much. And I feel like it's kind of I'm kind of looking at this over here, and for some reason I was feeling like take that time to yourself, to have that quiet time and to sort through things and to think about things. Sometimes we just need to get away from all of the noise and to get away from all of the distractions and just have that quiet time and to think things through. For me, sometimes it's driving in the car. I find that clarity. When I go to the barn, I find that because I feel relaxed and I'm not feeling pressure about anything. And I'm like, now I feel free to really think things through and say, you know what, why am I worrying about these things? Why am I worrying about the past? That's the past. And I need to move forward from this. Future energies for you. I love this one because I feel like she just represents freedom. She looks so light and she looks so airy, and she's just listening with the mask on. I feel like she's really looking within with the high priestess, is that she's really looking within and saying, you know what, I've got this. I can handle this. I need to not get so in my head, and that I just need to follow my intuition. Being able to let go. So this future energies is this Eight of Cups, where you're finally able to let go. You're finally able to move on from this. And then I also feel like it's resting and relaxing with this Four of Swords, taking a break. And that's kind of what I was saying over here with the grass, and where I felt like it's almost like this is kind of saying, this future energy is almost saying like a couple different things, where take that time, go to that place where you feel you can clear your mind and you can recharge. And then that's going to enable you to let go of these emotions, right? This Eight of Cups here, right? Because you're feeling overwhelmed with the Seven of Cups. And so the Eight of Cups, you're finally able to take the steps to walk away and move on and to let that go. And then be able to just follow your intuition and feel more in tune with yourself. And then we have the overall energy, which I feel is perfect, is the Five of Cups, is because this is what you're focusing on, is these three spilt cups. But you still have these two cups behind you. you have a lot of positive going on for you in your life. And I feel like you're just not seeing that right now because you're too much in this Seven of Cups and this King of Swords energy. And I feel that sometimes it's hard for us to shift our focus and to say, okay, I've got all of this negative going on right now. And, how can I even think about the positive? But I feel like, again, it's that mind shift. It's that focus, where your focus is. I feel that too many times people focus on the negative. Yes, there are times when you just get caught up with that. And I'm not saying to never focus on the negative, but I'm saying to give yourself time to process that, but then realize, okay, it's time for me to move on. What are those tools that you have to be able to move on from a situation instead of replaying that in your head over and over and over again? So I feel like you're replaying something in your head over and over and over again, and it's preventing you from this Fool energy of being able to let go, and this Ace of Wands energy to be able to move forward, and this freedom here with this High Priestess. Sometimes we don't even realize the things that we're doing, that we're keeping ourselves focused on the Three Spilt Cups here, that we're focusing on the negative, that we're just, in this Three Spilt Cups energy here, and that we're forgetting about all of the positive things that we have, and to remind ourselves of all of the positive. I've definitely had to do that. There's definitely been times where it's like, someone will trigger me, or something will be said, or I'll get myself into a negative mindset, and I'm just like, I'm fighting my way through to focus on all of the positive things that I have going for me. And when you start doing that and you start creating that pattern for yourself, then you're not in the Three Spilt Cups energy as much, that you're able to turn things around a lot quicker. And I've done that a lot lately. I've really worked on that. And I've really been able to let it go. And I've been able to really change my mindset. And I've been working on that a lot. And let me tell you, life just seems so much better. And it seems so much lighter, just like that High Priestess. And it just seems like the weight of it all has been lifted. Not that I still don't go through my struggles, but when I realize that I'm in that frame of mind, that I'm like, okay, I've got to let it go. We have Bobcat Spirit. Life is a mystery. You never know what's going to happen in life. And instead of focusing on the negative and getting too stuck in your head, it's like, well, life is a mystery and you never know what's going to happen. So keep those doors open. Keep those opportunities open for life to show you some opportunities or a new direction. Or maybe you might feel uncomfortable for a little while, but it's like it's leading you towards something else, right? It's leading you towards that personal growth. And that can happen in so many different ways. It doesn't have to be big things. It can be little things. It can be little things that start to add up to bigger things. So for me, I told you I was the cashier at the grocery store again. And for some reason, when they have me do bagging, it triggered me in a negative way. I don't really know why. It made me feel very heavy. It made me feel sad. It made me feel depressed. So it made work harder. And so I talked about it with my friend, and she's the manager there. And I told her, I said, I don't really know why I do that. And she's like, well, we'll work with you on that. And so I really tried to think about why I was triggered, which I'm still not too sure why. But then the next time when I went in, I'm like, there's nothing that's going to happen to you. Like, there's nothing bad that I felt like something bad was going to happen, which I don't really know why. But so the next time that I went in with a positive attitude. And I'm like, okay, if they ask me to bag, I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be okay. And my friend is like, I actually like bagging better because you don't have to worry about things. As a cashier, you have to worry about a lot of different things. And as a bagger, you're just putting things, the only thing you have to worry about is putting stuff in the bag and then putting it in the cart and possibly helping the person to their car. So it actually was more relaxing. And she said she likes doing that better because it's more relaxing for her. And when I was able to let go of all of these things, these ideas and these emotions and thoughts that I had in my head, I actually really enjoyed it. And when I was the cashier later in the day, I was like, you know what? I kind of liked bagging better. was just standing there chilling out, right? Bagging up the groceries. So I was like, wow, like I was so proud of myself. And I was so happy because it made my day go by really fast and it made the day so much better. And I was like, wow, just my attitude adjustment, just my perspective, and exploring why I was feeling triggered and exploring what was I afraid of, what was I in fear of, and realizing, okay, you need to go in with a different attitude to make the day better for yourself and to make the day go by quicker. And it did, and it worked. And I was so happy about that. And I was like, okay, I mean, it's still something that I have to work on. But I'm like, wow, it made a huge difference again with my mindset. So let's grab a Star Dragons here for you. We have returning, going with the flow. And that's what I did at work is I just went with the flow. I was like, okay, whatever it is that I have to do, I'm just going to enjoy it and I'm going to make the most of it and I'm going to be as positive as I can about it. And I almost feel like these two cards, they have the same colors. So I feel that there is a connection here with these two cards. And it's like going with the flow. Life is a mystery. You never know what's going to happen. And it almost kind of goes with the Ace of Wands. And I feel like aces are new beginnings and actions that you're taking. And I always feel like you have to be open to being open to look at things from a different point of view and maybe trying those things out and seeing what works and seeing what doesn't work, but picking out what works best for you. Not one thing is going to work for everybody, right? And sometimes we're in different points in our lives where, you know, at one point one thing may work and then we need to change it to something else where something else works. And it's being open to hear at least the different opinions, the different ways to handle or deal with things, the different perspectives, and being open to, again, as I said before, leaving those doors open to say, let me explore that, let me try that, let me look at it from this perspective. And again, whittling it down to what works for you because we're all individuals. Let's grab a seek seclusion. So whispers of healing, seek seclusion. That's what I was telling you when I saw the grass. When I saw the grass here on the Three of Wands, like that, what I was feeling is seek seclusion. Not to block yourself off from everyone and not to go into a darker place, but seek seclusion where there's not a lot of noise around you. And that's what I said earlier, is to find that quiet time, to find that time to process through your thoughts, right? And how you're handling things. And how can you change things? How can you do things differently? And really asking yourself, what do I want out of life? How do I want my life to be, right? And what can I do to fix those things or to change those things that I need to work on? For some of you, you may want romance in your life. So we have this, the woman holding the flower. This is Lenormand. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, the links are down below. But I also feel like it's loving yourself. And she's sitting there with a book and she just looks deep in thought. Again, I kind of feel this goes back to seek seclusion, is she's just kind of enjoying her time and she's feeling good because she's holding the rose and like she's just in love with her life and she's taking that time to relax and to do those things that make her feel good or make her feel happy or improving herself. With the book, it could be knowledge. That could represent knowledge. So she's working on things. She's saying, hey, how can I change things? How can I make things better for me in my life? What can I do for me to bring in this? Like she just has this sense of calmness within herself and this sense of, I almost feel like it goes back to the high priestess of knowing that everything's going to be okay and that even though, right, it's almost like she's looking at that and saying, this is where I don't want to be, but this is where I do want to be, and figuring that out. Let's grab a Wisdom of the Oracle card here for Capricorn. Co-create, working together, right? Co-create, working together. That could represent, with your spirit guides, whatever that may represent. It also could be maybe your friends. It could be like working together and seeking help if you need it. Sometimes for me, I have to talk to my sister, I have to talk to my son and just talk things through. And it really helps me a lot. It really helps me work through things. And I know that that's one of the tools that I have, that if I'm struggling, that that's where I can go. Also, for me, it's believing in the universe and co-creating with the universe, looking for those signs. But also, it's a lot about. I just feel the high priestess is it's empowering yourself, knowing that you don't need to have those signs, right? That if you're constantly chasing and looking for signs, like I gotta have a sign, I gotta know, then you're putting worry in your mind and you're saying, oh, I need to have a sign, I need to have a sign. Like, I don't know if I'm in the right. But when you're in the frame of mind where you're like, I know I'm on the right path because I feel a sense of peacefulness within myself, and I don't need to have those confirmations. If I happen to get those, that's great, but I'm not going to be constantly chasing those. There was a video that I just watched from Gem Goddess, which really turned things around for me. It's one of her latest ones where she was saying about manifesting, and it's like not always chasing it, because if you're always chasing it, it's going to run away, right? That if you have somebody that's really, really needy, is that person will kind of push you away, because you're, especially with Capricorn, because Capricorns are more independent. I'm a Capricorn sun and a Capricorn rising. And when a needy person comes, it kind of makes you like kind of move away from that. So think of it, that's how I'm thinking about it, is that there are some things that I would like to have happen in my life, but I always felt like I was chasing it. Like I was just like, please let this happen. Please show me a sign, and I was always chasing it. And so it was going farther away. But when you sit confident in your space, then those things just come in for you. And if you know those things are going to happen for you, is you just focus on, right, what is important for you and letting go of the chase, and then things start to come in for you. We have, rejoice in celebration. So the 3 of Cups, right? Rejoice in celebration. I love it. So I feel that goes back to those 2 cups that we have over here with the overall energy with the 5 of Cups. It's celebrating the things that you do have going on in your life, celebrating those things that are positive. Again, that's what helps you with your mind shift, is to focus on the positive, to focus on, like, look at all of these things that I do have in my life, and focusing on that, and not always chasing or going after things. Yes, you have to do things to make things happen, right? I'm not just saying sit around and do nothing, but if you're, it's like not chasing it in a negative way. And it's about saying, I know this is going to happen for me, so I'm going to buckle down and I'm going to do my work. And I know that things are going to get better for me. When you feel a sense of calmness, then it's almost like the ideas that come to your mind, or the actions, are the things, right? The actions, the Ace of Wands, the ideas that you have to reach your goals, because you're not worrying about chasing something, and you're not worrying about this happening or that happened, or this used to happen in the past, or this is going to happen you're just like, okay, this is the work that I need to do. This is the mindset that I am. I'm taking this time for myself. I'm clearing my mind. I'm clearing my energy. I'm focusing on what I do have in my life. I'm thinking about, where do I want to go? What do I want to bring into my life? What are those things that I can start working on to bring those things into my life, right? That you're releasing stress. You're doing those things that help you. Like right now, I have my abundance candle is going. Doing those little, again, like I've said before, what are those tools that you have that can help you to gain your sense of calmness within yourself? So before I did this reading, I have my sage and all of my little things. So I burned this over all of the tarot cards before I started, and I did it around me to release all of the energy. And then I have my abundance candle is going here. So I have that going. So I feel that for me, those are little things that I can do that can help me bring a sense of calmness in my life and a sense of happiness. And what are those little things that you have that you can do? I even have my hematite here, my little crystal here that I absolutely love. So I was holding that before the readings. It gives me a sense of calmness and makes me feel so much better. So again, what are those little things that you can do? And all of those little things start to add up. It's just changing your mindset and saying, what can I do to help myself? Like when I go to work, I wear a sweater to work, even though sometimes it can be a little warm. But for me, that sweater gives me a little bit of a sense of like coziness and security within myself. So in a way, it's kind of like my security blanket, but until I become more comfortable or if it gets warmer. But it's just like for me, that's something that helps me in that situation to feel more confident about the situation, that everything's going to be okay. And again, it's okay, whatever those things that you want to do. If that's important to you, then that's what you need to follow. And don't let anybody say anything negative. Because if that person does say negative things, then you have to assess, do I really want that person in my life? Is that really, like, why do I need that person's approval? Like, what do I care what that person has to think? Yes, it takes a while to get into that frame of mind and to not worry about those things. But then it's like, do I need to have a person in my life that if I'm saying I'm wearing a sweater because it makes me feel safe, that if they make me feel guilty, then why do I want to have that person in my life? And why do I care what they have to say? This is what makes me feel good and makes me feel safe. Again, it's all about mindset. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Especially if you're still hanging in there with me, I really appreciate it. I hope you have an amazing day. For those of you that may be in the path of the hurricane, I wish you the best. Please stay safe. That's kind of why I started to say at the end, stay safe, because that's definitely a scary thing. I know that it is heading my way. So I'm going to plan on staying safe. So if you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I can't remember if I already said that. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.